See that, and they are actually already going off to the races. We see a jet synchron
What?
starting off here with Austin. So he's
Hey,
gonna,
you got to do what you got to do. Next up is Needle Fiber, right?
yeah, so he discarded Orcust Nightmare to resurrect the jet synchron, and guess what? That's Orcust combo.
That's pretty good. I don't hate that. It seems like you probably end up with a lot of hands where you accidentally brick on too many Orcust monsters, and that's a cute little way to get out of it that also allows you to play 1-for-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like nice because it would be nicer with Needle Fiber, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
But it's nice that we get to see a card like Jet Synchron shine, even in 2019, even without Needle Fiber.
So what I like about Austin is that we haven't yet really seen an Orcust player go off. We did feature an Orcust player just now, but unfortunately they didn't do very much playing.
No.
I do like his list a ton. It's playing 1-for-1 and a secondary target of Orcust Brass Bombard.
Ooh.
A card that we know all too well from
Yeah.
our previous interactions with it.
Absolutely.
It is a fantastic flex slot.
Yeah, we actually had one of our top 16 players from Pro Play Tour Orlando playing 3 Brass Bombard in his list and 3 Crescendo. He called it Control Orcust.
No, control Orcust,
Yeah.
implying that there are Orcusts who aren't controlling.
Yeah, but his was like the definition of control. I mean,
Excellent. And of course, Thunder needs no introduction. It's a little interesting because, of course, Thunder is a deck that loves to go first and set up and kind of folds to Dingirsu, but not so much that its entire game plan is ruined. One removal spell is usually not enough to end a Thunder player's turn.
we mentioned it in our pre-show too. Thunder definitely got a boost with the new ban list with Widow Anchor going to 1.
It's worst matchup.
It just gave an opportunity for Thunder to just have a nice, just an easier time being able to play its worst matchup, and now it's just easy to go off, and a lot of people are on Thunder at the moment. So again, this being the first event of the new format, it's going to be very interesting to see how the players adapt and what we've got this weekend. It's been pretty good so far, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I've only thumbed through the deck lists. I haven't done any scientific inquiry, but I can assure you that there is a ton of Thunder and a ton of Orcust. Not very much Sky Striker, and a medium amount of Salamangrate. Outside of that, we have some interesting things that I hope rise to the top, and we will be able to show you later today.
Yeah, we had a Pendulum player round 1, Mr. Triff Gaming himself.
Never heard of this guy.
He's, I believe, undefeated aside from a draw that he got last round.
He did get a draw last round.
And then we have the legendary man, Jeff himself, just absolutely decimating his opponent on stream. 3-0. He better make top 16. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go ahead and talk about the game here. So we have a Batteryman Solar from Tyler here. We see Austin pretty much just ending on a very standard Orcust board here. Dingirsu in defense, just to make sure you're playing around any sort of like Boral Sword shenanigans or anything like that. And now we're going to see a pitch of Dark for the Solar. That's going to prompt the Hawk, but that is going to prompt the Orcust Crescendo.
Yeah, that's about the best possible thing
Yeah.
you can negate.
I would agree.
Oh, Zane 3, good catch. I mean the opposite. Thunder's best matchup. One thing that's interesting about this particular Thunder build is that it's playing 3 copies of Aloof Lupine. Now, Thunder previously has kind of shied away from monsters that are high impact but require your normal summon because it's very easy to brick on them. But this individual is not playing the card that smooths out these normal summon reliant hands, Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, and is instead going for triple Lupine to more effectively enable 3 Allure of Darkness.
So we see Austin use the effect of Galatea to shuffle back the Jet Synchron,
I guess you can do that.
and he's going to search a copy of Orchestrated Return and set it to his field with Galatea's effect. Keep in mind, Galatea is a quick effect because he has Orchestrated Babble in his field zone.
That is a very pretty token.
So we're going to see the Thunder Dragon Duo come down. That will prompt the effect of the Batteryman Solar, generating a token. That is a mandatory effect.
Yeah. So what do we do from here? We can Link Summon some Summer Summoner. Ugh. First try.
Where's that really get you, though? I mean, Dingirsu is just so oppressive in the fact that,
Depends on the hand, of course.
That's fair. That's fair.
If there's a fusion in the hand, I think you very clearly do that. That gets you all of the way to everything important. And with a Thunder Dragon in hand, I think he's telegraphing Titan pretty hard.
Possibly. And so it looks like that's where he's going to go.
All right, some Summer first. This card is so incredible, and it has almost no text on it.
Top 5 artworks, too.
Oh, definitely.
That's Dad Bod written all over it.
Big step forward for inclusivity.
Of course. So here comes the Colossus now. And so now he's going to banish the Roar from his hand as well as the Colossus to go for Titan.
Oh, wow. So people think of Titan as a high investment card, but what they don't understand is very often it's a combo starter. If you get stuck on a hand that has like Roars drenched in there, boy is it great to banish them in order to summon a monster that wins you the game.
So now Roar is going to special summon Matrix out of the deck. Here comes the first use of Thunder Dragon here.
He's thinking about this ding. You probably detach. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Best part about that effect is it's not once per turn.
Very fun.
And so now he's going to get another Thunder Dragon, and unfortunately he won't be able to pitch this one.
Well, we are one fusion away.
And so now here comes a Colossus, presumably.
So we can now clear the ding, which is good. And we'll make one additional Colossus for good measure.
Yeah, he can also clear the Galatea, too.
So the ding is strong, of course. But how much does recurring it get you against this specific board?
And this is also one of the reasons why people are fearing Thunder as one of the strongest decks, because just look at this board. I mean,
it's so strong.
It is.
I mean, there's a world in which they win this turn, but of course this isn't it.
Yeah, so Ding's going to
Here's
protect
Ding
himself
again.
from one Colossus attack.
And unfortunately, that ding is going to be able to do basically everything this turn.
So now Tyler has to attack the Dingirsu again once again, otherwise the Galatea won't destroy itself because it's still linked, unless he's fine with that.
Oh, he's just heading for the Galatea here.
So it looks like it.
The issue with sending Ding to the graveyard is, of course, then they can reborn it with this copy of Symbol Skeleton and then eat one of your fusion monsters.
So he took 1,400 damage from the first attack from the Titan, and then he took another 8 from the Colossus.
Listen, some of our brains don't work that quickly. We're going to get Long Gearsu, and of course, those monsters are linked? Yes, they are.
They are.
So it looks like we've gone for a Titan pop, and in response, that's prompted the Long Gearsu. The problem with playing against Babel is that basically for the remainder of the game, Austin can keep this Titan offline.
Yeah, Titan's just like one of those cards. It's
There's one down.
yeah, it's just very. If you can't have any sort of interaction to chain, I don't want to say chain block, but to use in response to Thunder Titan activating its effect before it has the chance to, it can just completely destroy your entire board. But
Missing the timing is such a weird concept in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's great to see it used in such an innovative way.
Yeah.
I really do like the way Titan works.
So Longirsu shuffling away one of the Colossi.
And there's Armageddon Knight.
Yeah, that's a very good draw.
So what do we send here? Symbol Skeleton is pretty good. So is basically everything else. Likely Harp is going to be the send.
I was going to say, I don't really think he could go wrong with any of these sends at this point. And I think this should just be easy cleanup here.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be too difficult. He just has to. He can easily just.
We got to link away the ding and then bring it back.
Well, he can just go for a Boral Sword at this point, I believe.
Oh, yikes. And he's just going to shuffle it up.
Yeah,
Says,
I was going to say,
I don't need to see
he
it.
doesn't have to see the Boral Sword.
Self included. Personally, I've loved main deck Nibiru until people remembered what it was.
Yes.
Once people started playing cognizant of it, it became a big problem and very difficult to play around. It looks like Austin has drawn evenly matched. Is that what that is?
I believe.
Could
No,
be
it's
an
imperm. It's
impermanence.
imperm. I think it's
Yeah.
imperm.
So impermanence is pretty terrible against Thunder. It does negate a Colossus, but that's about all it does.
It's interesting though, because if Tyler doesn't overcommit and overextend with the threat of like evenly match or Nibiru, if all he ends on is like one Colossus, maybe two, let's say, you could imperm one, and then you can search. Even though Orcust
you can mind control the other.
That's true, and Orcust doesn't really do a ton of searching in general, so like it's fine. It's definitely stronger against other decks, I would say that for sure.
Speaking of terrible, this opener. Oh, never mind, it's fine.
Yeah.
This is always where I end up, and then I see the Titan, and I go, oh, well.
Yep,
I have the exact same facial expression as Austin.
Summon the Titan, trigger the Roar. Roar is going to summon out Dark, presumably.
So here we have a little bit of a problem. You can't go into some Summer Summoner, but you need the zones. So you can make Beat Cop and then tribute away the Beat Cop in order to free that zone back up if you want to make a triple Colossus board from here.
Or is he a Lamprolink kind of man?
Yeah, well, let's find out.
Oh, he's a Wee Witch.
Wee Witch,
Okay.
even better.
Yeah.
Take that.
Now, funny enough, Wee Witch is actually lowering the power of the Titan.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be relevant, but it could be.
If we lose because Titan has 500 fewer attack, 400, right?
I believe it loses. Ooh. I'm not sure, actually. We'll see. We'll see if it's relevant. But Duo coming down. He's going to banish Duo for a Colossus.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Colossus being on 31 attack.
Wow.
It's going to be in defense, though, so it's
Big
going to
boy.
be 29 defense, I think.
Now, unfortunately, that Colossus is just a walking ding eat.
For the most part. So Impermanence is going to come down, immediately go after the Titan.
See, that's frustrating. It telegraphs a hand that loses to a single pop that he knows Tyler has. And I think Tyler just has to eat it. There's nothing you can do.
I
in
mean, is there
response.
really anything he can do? I mean,
No.
obviously he's playing his Dinomicious, but he didn't have it set, so clearly he doesn't have to work around that. He's got the mind control too, so I mean, he's got the possibility to link that off. I mean,
This individual has drawn almost everything necessary.
There's the instant fusion. That's going to get Thousand Eyes actually, which is probably even better.
That's a fantastic way to clear a Colossus off the board.
Yep. Can I just say, I love that a card like Thousand Eyes Restrict from Pharaoh's Servant is still relevant in our metagame.
It's off and on, but boy, when it's on, it's on.
So we're going to eat up that Colossus here.
I think in a world of Mermaid, we could do the entire combo with our opponent's monsters.
But he has Armageddon Knight, so he can still do it anyway.
Okay.
Oh, but Ash
we'll
Blossom.
Ash the one of. You got it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So without Mermaid, there's a world in which Austin is just cut off of Orcust monsters. And if that happens, and Tyler's allowed to take his next turn,
I don't know.
might be in trouble.
I think there's a Brass Bombard in Austin's hand.
How do we get the Brass Bombard out of our hand?
That I don't think we have an answer to at the moment. You could. Ooh, no. I was going to
Okay,
say.
hear me out. You mind control the Wee Witch, so you can go into Nightmare Cerberus, discarding the Brass Bombard. No.
I was going to suggest the same thing, but then the problem is you're like kind of locked. Well, you're not really locked in your extra monster zone, but it makes it more difficult. But
Yeah.
let's see what he's got.
So we could still go into like, I don't know, Nightmare Unicorn?
He's got 3 monsters. He could shuffle back the Witch, deny Tyler any sort of advantage. It doesn't seem that good. It seems like good enough. but
Unicorn only works if he's got 2 Orcusts exactly in hand.
So there's Phoenix, co-linked Phoenix specifically.
Wow, broken!
Doesn't matter because there's no back row to pop, sadly.
Looks like he does have 2 Orcusts in hand. What is that second card? Ugh, and a pass back? Oh,
Oh, no, I think he was just telling him to look at he wanted to look at the Graven Banish.
Oh, good. Because a pass back would be quite devastating. Oh, and there it is.
That's a pass back. Well, at least this Phoenix can't die in battle.
All right, Tyler, let's figure it out. You've got 15 Thunder Monsters in the graveyard, 18 Thunder Monsters in hand. What are you going to do? Stall for time is an option.
He'd have a lot of slow play warnings if that were
A
the case.
25-minute turn with no actions.
Tyler's got, what, 3 cards in hand?
Yeah. So the issue is the Thunder can brick, and it's very easy to end up on a hand that doesn't have any way to access anything.
Thing is, he didn't really brick. He just, like, his board got outed, and now he doesn't really have a backup plan.
I mean, any fusion, any
Oh,
hawk,
fusion would be so good.
even roar would be fine. There's so much you can do with this hand if it has anything in it. In order for it to brick, it'd have to be like normal summonable guys that don't do anything, normal Thunder Dragon, Matrix potentially.
I mean, he does have the Wee Witch. He could,
Sark
like,
is pretty good. This is the best card in the game.
maybe he was just planning his line. I mean, there's also the line where you could just crash your Wee Witch into the Phoenix and then get something back. I don't know, like, what you would want to get back
Oh,
from that,
that's smart. I like that.
Because you could, Dark is Hawk a light or a dark?
Hawk is a light.
Hawk's a light, okay, so you couldn't do that. But you could get back Dark.
Oh,
if
are we
you-
winning the game this turn?
Maybe.
Is that
Is that
Appaloosa?
is that Apple?
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
That's a 3-mat Appaloosa. Pretty strong
That's
against Orkest. 4-mat. I think checking real quick.
That's a very big Appaloosa.
Large. He's playing around Nibiru, says chat. Oh, that would be a way to do it.
That's a good way to go for game, too. He does have to clear the Phoenix still, which cannot be destroyed by battle. I don't think that's too difficult with a possible Titan, but... Big Appaloosa, that's... I mean,
Ooh, that's a good question, chat. What rarity is that Appaloosa?
asking the real questions.
It looks normal to me. It doesn't look prismatic. Prismatic Appaloosa, of course, has an additional negate, so it makes sense.
Obviously. So here comes the Hawk now. Hawk going to special summon the duo that was properly summoned.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
So duo attacking is going to do a significant amount of damage to the Link Haribo, but of course it can't be destroyed. That's 28 into 3, so 25.
25 and then 29.
Wow.
That's a lot of damage.
And we can end. Have we used?
Have we used
the
what?
attack of one of these monsters yet?
Oh, we're seeing a negate instantly here from Oh, no, maybe they were saying that. I think actually.
Yeah, I think we corrected
Yeah, I
this.
think they were
Yeah.
correcting that it was only 3 material.
All right, and we'll end on a Colossus for good measure.
Yeah.
The frustrating thing about Colossus at this stage of the game is if there's no Orkest available, and therefore no Dingirsu, even trying to remove the Colossus just wins Tyler the game immediately.
Well, the nice thing is, like, okay, if you go Unicorn, you get negated by Appaloosa, and then Appaloosa's 16, so you can kill Appaloosa then, because Appaloosa doesn't destroy.
Right.
But then you still have the Colossus to worry about, so.
Right. He's just allowing anything to resolve that isn't an Orkest. Ooh, a scrap recycler to the graveyard. Unfortunate.
Might not matter. There's an orchestrated return, gets the brass bombard out of his hand.
Ooh, if that last card was an Ash, that would have been nice.
Plays under Colossus too, which is nice.
So you've kind of got to draw an Orkest here if you want any chance of winning this game, right?
Maybe? Is that an Ash?
Ooh. Oh, I hope not.
Ooh. Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, the biggest thing here is, I mean, okay, so he can go for 4, so he could go for.
If nothing else, Boral Sword outs the Appaloosa.
Yes. If he has another monster, he could clear the entire. Oh no, because he
No,
has.
very
he can't.
much can
Never
he
mind.
not.
No, he can't. Never mind.
Looking at the graveyard real quick. Well, there is a brass bombard if that last 2 cards is.
Nah, it looks like he's
Orkest.
just going to clear Appaloosa. So
He'll just walk into it, so that's 3,000.
should be 3,000, yeah. But that's if he activates. Oh no, it can't be responded to if he uses the effect. Or is that Boral Sword's other
No,
effect?
it's the other effect.
It's the other
You're
effect. So
right.
no, he only takes 600 then. The switch to defense, I think, is the one that can't be responded to.
It is.
There's a Greffer.
Greffer is a card.
That's good, though, because it gets his Orcust cards online. He drew another brass.
Classic. Does brass bombard exclude itself?
I'm not sure, actually.
I'm going to find out. I have a feeling we'll need to know for later today.
So he's going to send Nightmare. This kind of gets everything going now.
Brass bombard is self-exclusionary.
Okay.
Hilarious. Well, Nightmare is good enough.
So now at this point, he banishes the Nightmare, summons the Harp, banishes the Harp, summons the Skeleton.
This is a pretty easy cleanup of the remainder of the board.
Yeah. That's if he opts to go for it.
Well, the first thing we're going to do, of course, is Galate.
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't go for it.
Shuffling back the Harp. Do you grab the Babel? Or do you go for the Crescendo?
Probably the Crescendo.
I don't know, because if you get Babel, you already have Symbol and Grave.
You could
So
just ding
there-
again.
You could ding again. So it's really whichever you value more.
He is going for the Babel.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting because if he goes Dingirsu, he can clear the Colossus, and then Babel will be there as like a measure in case Dingirsu gets cleared. Because obviously he doesn't have another monster that he can like link off Dingirsu unless he wants to waste the Boral Sword, which I don't think is wise.
Okay, so this is a little interesting. It's very possible to destroy Boral Sword based on what Tyler's drawn, and if that happens, you can easily attack over Dingirsu for a game.
So he's going to pitch, roar. I believe he added back Duo.
Ooh, adding back Duo. Wow, that's really frightening. Duo is going to banish, what, a Dark and anything?
He's got Hawk too. I don't think that matters.
Probably don't want to banish the Hawk. The Mulligan is not super relevant.
say-
A Matrix,
I mean,
maybe.
Unless it is relevant, his hand doesn't matter. But I would.
This hand is miserable.
Oh, we can go for the Matrix.
He might be out of matrices.
That's true.
Routinely, decks will only play 2. Oh, I guess we have his list.
I was gonna say
He is on 3 matrix.
We're not used to having the list, so
He is gonna mulligan.
okay.
So 1 card in this hand is terrible. And oh wow, Dark is just gonna get fusion for sure. Unless he found it already.
Interesting. He opted to draw first before using Matrix's effect or Dark's effect. Excuse me. Oh, because he wanted the fusion. Okay, that makes
Right.
sense. Never mind. Routinely, you'll see players get the search first and then shuffle back because they want more cards. But in this
Yeah.
case, Thunder Dragon Fusion makes absolutely perfect sense.
And all of the Thunder Dragon cards are extremely mutable.
Yes.
Oh good, glad you can just send the fusions back.
What? It's an engine. It's supposed to work like this.
Yeah. I'm not saying it isn't supposed to work like this. I'm questioning if it's fair.
And so here comes the Titan.
So we're in a weird position. Obviously, turning the Titan to defense position is pretty good. But you know what else is pretty good? Activating any hand effect.
YuGiOh also does give Borrelsword some protection here. So that is something to keep in mind.
Gives him what? One protect? We're going to go to battle phase.
Go to battle phase.
Make him use
So,
it.
Yep.
Sure.
Go to defense.
We'll attack into the Dingirsu, I suppose. I guess I don't even know if we have to. He says, "Are you attacking the Borrelsword? Why?" No.
So we're going to detach. There we go. Okay, so he's going to discard the Matrix. And so,
Right, so he's explaining how Duo works. I believe Duo is currently at 31. Looks like we're having a little bit of a kerfuffle about what this card does.
well, it's fine. I mean, they have the judge right next to them, so.
Yeah.
But in either case, Dingirsu is going to protect the Borrelsword, so it really doesn't matter all that much.
So notably, if Duo is able to destroy a monster by battle, Tyler is able to pop all the way off with its second effect. Looks like he's electing not to, though.
And the Duo just died. So he was trying to discard the the Matrix in an attempt to use Titan.
Oh, I see.
And it ended up backfiring pretty hard.
He activated Matrix effect, then activates Titan effect. I see.
And so now we just see Austin just going off here.
Yeah. This seems to be the end of the game. You can't let an Orcust player get to their main phase with a copy of Battle on their side of the field.
Yeah, because now they just get to do everything that they would normally do on your turn, and ooh, it's going to be rough. Granted, Tyler's still on 74, but there's already a Borrelsword in Austin's field, so not feeling too comfortable for Tyler here at this point.
But Tyler's kind of giving it away, playing with his graveyard. Yeah.
And so there's another Dingirsu. You know, if you see two Dingirsus, like that's like game over. Just quickly checking where Borrelsword's text here. He's going to attack, and Tyler's just going to extend the handshake.
Well, that's about as expected.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think there was anything like too shocking there.